Hello, hello, and welcome to Pro NoCoders Office Hours, episode number 174. My name is Tonya, and I'm your host. I'm here with our member, Jay, and my Kim. We're going to get started in just a few moments, but first, I want to take a second to tell you about what Pro NoCoders Office Hours is all about. Essentially, come on every single day of the week. We have an office hours session, except Monday, where we have two. Right? Oh, I should say weekday, not every day of the week. We're here Monday through Friday, and Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then on Mondays, we have a second session at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And we invite our members onto our Zoom. They can ask us any bubble question that they want. We can't promise an answer because we don't have all the answers, but we do promise they won't suffer alone with their bubble question. And we do get it right a lot of the time. So if you would like to join us on office hours and come ask your bubble questions, please go to pronocoders.com and sign up today. The price is $99 per month. And again, you get 6 sessions per week. You can come to any or all of those sessions and get your bubble questions answered. But be forewarned, on January 1st, 2022, the price is going up to $119 per month. So if you want access to Pro NoCoders at $99 per month, you need to make that decision pretty soon here and go sign up at pronocoders.com. Welcome, Thomas and Calum.
What up?
Yeah, we're gonna get started. Jay's got a challenging one for me this morning.
Is it good? No, good, bad.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
While you're still sharp. Okay, so up till now, the user has walked through several choices, and and at this point, they've chosen like a product or a platform. They've chosen stakeholders and subject matter experts. So there's quite a bit of refinement. So I don't want to write, I tried writing one kind of generic message that would just populate like this with the bullet points, but it doesn't really, it's not good. It's not engaging. I want to write one for several, like for each theme. A theme is like a differentiator, a pain, a background, some type of content that you're talking about. So what I want to do is put these in the database, but I want these things, like the first name, the product name, the theme, to be dynamic.
So you want, okay. So who's typing this stuff that, like, where's this going in your database? Like you want them to be able to add the like merge fields basically?
No, they should be automatically added through this data type called prompts.
Okay, got it. Okay, so first I would recommend using an asterisk on either side of what's supposed to be dynamic. So go and edit that.
Is this just
I would not put asterisks anywhere else. This is just a preference for me. So, and just one on either side. But I mean, I don't know why you couldn't use a different symbol, but the one that I'm familiar with Canvas is the asterisk. So, and then I probably wouldn't have the underscore. I would just make it either camel case or all caps.
Is there a reason for that? Like why?
No, I'm going off of my memory of what I've seen work, and I have no idea if there's a quirk to what I've seen work that makes it work or not. So this is the question from the newlyweds, right? The one who's cooking is making a roast and cuts half the roast off and throws it in the trash, and the other one's like, why did you do that? Because my mother always did it, right? And then they said, Mom, why'd you do that? She said, because my mother always did it. And then said, Grandma, why'd you do that? Oh, because when I was first married, my pan wasn't big enough. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's superstitious is all.
Okay. I mean, I have to change my data type, so I'm not actually going to do that, but but I understand what you're saying. So now we're down to really the big difference is this one. Like this, I can access. This is the requester. I've got that stored elsewhere. And this I could get because it's the person it's being sent to. But this, I guess I don't really understand how to get.
Okay, so we'd like your insight on an aspect of, and then where is that product going to be in your database? Like, it has to be somewhere.
It is. It is. Wait a minute, I'm in the wrong spot. It is here. What they're doing now is creating an approval flow, a workflow that once it's created, it's canned and anybody else can use it. Like anyone who reuses it, it can be reused. So it's over here. There's the product. There's the SME. There's the theme. There's the topic.
Okay, and then how is it being grabbed? Like that product? Like, I guess, I'm sorry, I know you were explaining it. It might have gone over my head a little bit, but the person is seeing something that's already been done and they want to use it as a template. Is that right?
Yes, because they have the option over here to customize it, but this, I want it pre-written and offered to them. And what this will be is the text that's sent to the SME to answer. So somebody else, an administrator, is creating this flow that says, if this message is, if we're talking about differentiators for healthcare, about our platform or our product X, then this is the message we're going to send to the,
Okay.
what do you call it? The SMA.
So it seems to me that probably what they need to do is select a product before they select that, or after. They've selected a product that they're sending this on behalf of. So where is that stored?
Let me show you. Let me just run through. Actually, it takes a second. So
okay, yeah, that's fine.
Lengthy. It's not a lengthy thing. Okay, so they create an approval flow. They pick what they want to talk about. They pick what they want to talk about. And here's the problem, because it can't just be a product. They probably have a lot of products. So they've got to pick the one that they're talking about. And this is another issue. This loads them. So then they can pick the type of SME they want. They can select the SME. And now they've got a workflow. They can decide who gets what when. I haven't got that far yet, and organize it and give these people permissions and what they can do with the content once it's created by the SME, and then boom. Now this is what the SME actually gets. This is the first step of the workflow process, getting this into the SME's hands so they can answer.
Okay, so now the suggested prompt, we're still with the person who's asking the SME for something, right?
Yeah, this is the administrator who's at the keyboard right now.
Got it. And so when you show them this, you should probably have all of those things already filled out, right?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yep. Okay. And so when you go to that thing in the editor, that element, and then, yeah, in your initial content here,
this is all junk below that. It's just above the asterisk. I've got to search for the prompt.
So you search for the prompt, audience theme topic. Wait, what's junk in the initial?
Below these three asterisks. So the search thing is what we're talking about, is here.
Okay.
But this is just me trying to find a way to do it without this. It didn't work very well.
Oh, got it. Okay, so what you're going to need is find and replace. So search for prompts. So after items content, click more. And then go to find and replace.
Grab it. Find and replace. I didn't even think of that.
Yep. So Okay, we're just waiting. So the text to find is going to be the different variables, and you're going to do a series of find and replaces for each of the merge fields that you have. So you'll do the first one will be like the first name, and then in the text to find in the replacement, that's where you put your dynamic expression.
Like that.
Exactly.
And here it's the here.
Hey, Ben.
What's his name?
Hey,
Welcome.
thank you.
Okay.
Kim, the keyword for Jay's question could be using find and replace for dynamic text. For those of you who are listening or watching for the first time, I often will interrupt things and tell Kim what the keyword will be.
It didn't work.
Okay, let's see. First name, find and replace. Oh, it's not saved. It didn't save. So I think you tried to enter the text as a dynamic expression, but it's not dynamic, it's just text. Because if you click on find and replace, the find is empty.
Oh,
So click out, no, it shouldn't be dynamic. You should just click outside of that in backspace or something. So like, will it let you delete that? It's not dynamic. The text is not dynamic.
I got
There
you.
you
I
go.
was having trouble getting there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. What are we going to do when Bubble fixes the expression builder so that it's actually like much faster? It's already so fast to build with Bubble.
Yep, it worked.
There you go.
Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Put me back at the end of the line. I've got other questions.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Let's see, Thomas and Calum, you both arrived at the same time. Do either of you have any questions?
What time zone is Thomas in?
Eastern United States.
Oh, that means it's early. It means I go first then. You know, that's how time works.
Well, Thomas is not standing up and saying he has any questions, so I think I'll let that fly.
Yeah, you know it's true. What did I have to ask this time? I did have something, but once again, I've completely forgotten it. Yeah, no, I did have the question. So how do the like must not be empty thing? Because that was the thing I was struggling with the other day. If you do thing must not be empty, is it only saved to the database that validates that? How is it validating it? Is it, when just any action that you can't do if it, must not be empty, or is it just saving stuff to the database?
I'm not sure I'm clear on the question. So must not be empty or is not empty is a condition that you can put on a lot of things. And essentially it's referencing whatever you are referring to, and then it's looking to see if there's anything there. And if there's anything there, then it's not empty. And if there's nothing there, then it is empty. Now, like if you're referring to like numbers, I don't think.
So I'm referring to the checkbox that comes up on input elements. So where it says drop down, this must not be empty.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm so like, can you share your screen and show me like the probably clear some of this confusion up?
Okay, yeah, one sec.
Oh, I think I understand. Like, why doesn't it work sometimes?
Well, yeah, kind of. So, let me share my screen. No, so I was doing this the other day, and I was trying to work out why. It's editing profiles and different profiles, and I couldn't work out for the life of me why clicking this button didn't work. Everything was set up like it worked, and I've set this up for all the different profile types, and it worked with two of them, but it wouldn't work with the third one for some reason. And the reason it wouldn't work was because I hadn't selected a relationship status or gender for one of them, and that said this must input should not be empty. But is that, so when it does that validation, is that validation only happening when, so update personal details makes changes to something in the database? Is that?
Yes, it only works if on the button click that's within like the relevant inputs, if it has an action that does save that field that it's attached to, then it will require it, but it's actually kind of finicky. Most of the time the complaint is that they want the person to be stopped clicking the button. And if there's not a specific action on that button related to that field, it won't stop them from clicking that button, even if it is empty.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, it's, but if it's, so say for example, my sign up flow, I have a load of stuff in my sign up flow that is, must not be empty, but it doesn't stop me clicking the next button. It only stops happening when it makes change. It actually does the user to sign up. So
Exactly.
in order for that to work,
then you have to put conditions instead of having the condition on the input. You would put the condition on the button to make the button not clickable if that input's empty.
Got you. Makes sense. Perfect. I will go away and try and think of the other question that I definitely had and literally had when I said, yeah, I'll go first, and then completely forgot. Because, you know, just how my brain works.
That's okay. We'll see if Thomas is back. Thomas, are you here?
Yep, no questions.
No questions. He's the questionless. Okay, Ben, do you have anything?
Sure.
Let's do it.
It'll be another quick win.
I love quick wins. I also like challenges.
I just mind blank sometimes, and it's like, oh, I'll save that for a quick win. So this is a repeating group where I've got a list of brands that I'm trying to figure out if this sort function is possible. I know you can sort by a drop down, that's super easy, and I'm sure this is easy too, but just like sorting up and down via that rather than a drop down. Mm-hmm. Do you have to set a state, or is it, how do you do it?
Okay, so yes, you can do that with a state. I think maybe a more elegant solution than doing a whole separate state is go into the repeating group, into the search. And then there's like, you see where it says sort by?
Yep.
Click there and scroll all the way to the bottom. You see the change which field?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's for, is so that you can change which field based on the condition of the state or whatever, so that you don't have to do several different conditions on the repeating group to grab the state and change the data source. You can use the change which field based on conditions instead. But you can do it the other way very easily as well. And that's the way that I know how to do it.
Okay. You're not sure of this one? This way?
I explored what that one was for, but it was for something else that I was trying to accomplish. So I've never actually done it, but we can do it if you want. Let's just try. Why not?
Let's learn something new.
Yeah. So change which field.
Come on.
It's like, select it.
Yeah, come on, Bubble.
Come on, Bubble. You can do it. Okay. So the dynamic field name would just be, I think you have to use can you go to the reference for change which field and see if we can read the instructions?
Where would the reference be?
Hover over change which field and then no, in the drop down where it says change which field, just hover over that.
And the drop down.
Right above, yep, there. And then, yeah, see reference, there we go. Seems like Bubble would be able to do this better too. Go ahead and scroll down. We're looking for the change which field part of this. There we go. So they have a video. And so select this option if you want the sorting field to be dynamic. When selected, another field will display and allow you to define the field. It can be dynamic and should match the name of an existing field. If it does not match, the application will show an error. So what the dynamic here would be is you would set a state here.
Mhm.
So you know that you want to sort by some specific field. So go ahead and click there and then click do the name of the page probably, so app. And then, and then you're gonna
Create a new one.
Create a new custom state. And you can call it something like it's the sort, right? It's the repeating group sort, whichever repeating group it is.
There you go.
Yep. And then the state type will be text and it'll just have one in it. So go ahead and create that. And then, and then descending, nope, you don't need that. It's just,
really?
Yep.
Okay.
You just, what you're going to send into, great, I'm glad you remember, Calum. What you're going to do is you're going to delete the is there and leave that, and you're going to set that state to be the name of the field that you want to sort by. It's a little weird, to be honest. So just backspace out of that. I know, it's just like.
Why? So is that deleted now?
It's weird. There it is. Okay. So then descending right now is no. So you can change. So you will need one condition, I think. So you'll need another state to say, because you want to do it alphabetically ascending or descending, depending on what they click, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll need a second state. So you will need one condition, but this will do the sort by. Now we just need to, on the click of the icon, so go to the design part. So when they click that button, do you want the A's at the top or the Z's at the top?
A's.
Okay, so then let's go to, on that button click, we'll make a workflow.
I have no idea why it's running so slow today. It's so weird.
It is weird.
I can't blame the computer anymore.
Because you're sharing a screen.
Probably. And sometimes Bubble just gets slow like that. They actually encourage me to tell them when that happens because they want to monitor like editor performance. I'm just like, I don't have time to tell you when your product's not performing. Come on.
Not even doing a bug report for that thing yesterday. So
I
There's
know.
There's some new API they're using, which I always see down in the bottom left, that when things are running slow, I went to see what it was, and it's like a performance thing, you know, where stuff that tracks where people click on websites. I think they've started running it on the bubble editor. I don't know if I'd never seen it before until a couple of weeks ago. I've noticed everything's been just a little bit slower since that happened. Weirdly.
Okay. So we'll set the state that you just created. But one thing we need to check first is we need to know the, like, maybe copy and paste that field name exactly.
the field name or the image name, like the drop down name?
The field name that you want to sort by.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'd go to the database probably, right? Maybe even in data types. Yep, so copy, and then that's what you want to set the state to when that button is clicked. It's element actions. I'm sorry, Ben. That's terrible performance. I know how painful that is. I've been there.
Element.
Yep, is app. And then you're going to select that sort. Yep, brand search sort. And then click out of the dynamic part. Actually, you don't have to click out of the dynamic part because it's expecting text. So just go ahead and click there and then paste. Will it take it? Yeah, it took it. Okay. And then set another field.
Another field.
Another
state.
Yep, or another state. Yep, in the custom state this time, you're going to create a new one. And then just call it like ascend or descending with a question mark.
Descending. Okay.
Descending, and then it'll be I think you could make it yes, no. I think that should be fine. And then, yeah, and then you're going to set it to no, because you want it to be A's at the top. Oh, it's just part of the drop down when you click in it. Just select no. Yeah, there you go. So now what we have to do is set the opposite, right? So go back to the other click on the page.
Which page?
So on the design. And then there's the up caret. There you go.
What do you want me to do with this one? Sorry.
Yep. So now we're going to do a different workflow. So start this workflow. And you can actually copy and paste that state into that workflow so that the action from the other workflow can be copied and pasted, and we can just modify it. And all we need to modify is the bottom to yes. It'll take it. It's just thinking. Never mind. I give Bubble too much credit. Okay, so now if you go back to the repeating group And I want you to copy the expression for this data source. And then in the conditional, you're going to go ahead and define another condition. So what's that one up there when the input searches brands value is not empty? Like, what is that talking about?
That is a fuzzy search.
Is fuzzy search. So you change the search based on the fuzzy search. Okay. So we might have to add 2 conditions because you're going to have, because if you want to maintain the sorting with the fuzzy search, then you would need to account for it in the first one and also in the second one.
Okay.
So go ahead and paste the condition in the when. Yep. And you want to go, oh, I'm sorry. That's actually for the data source. Go ahead and clear that out. Yep. What we want is when the app when that condition is when descending is set to yes, we want to change the data source. Ben, do you want me to take over and see if it'll work faster on mine?
Yeah, sure.
It's
Yeah.
probably driving you. I'm fine waiting for bubble or whatever. It's like, but I know how painful that is. I've been there.
I'm just going to close a heap of tabs.
I was using an old Chromebook at the end of my first, well, throughout the whole of my first paid project as a bubble developer, and I was dying.
What I don't get though, this is like a brand new MacBook Pro, like
Yeah,
top of the line.
I think it's probably like every time before office hours, I actually shut down my whole thing and restart it just so that it's like it's not bogged down by anything. So okay, so which repeating group is it? What's it called?
The page, yeah. Oh, it's called repeating group brand search.
Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's not your computer. Repeating group brand search. I didn't like that.
It'll
Which
be
one?
the first one.
This one? Okay. Okay. So then in this conditional, we're just saying when the app's descending. This did not help. This is not your computer. It's not your connection, and it's not screen sharing. This is your editor. Then the data source. Will be yes. Okay, and then who do I run as to see it?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyone.
And then how do I
You
do
go all brands on the right hand side there.
on the right hand side?
Up, sorry.
Oh, here. All right, and then so here is, yep, and here.
Cool.
So it's not too bad when the editor's not slow
Yeah.
setting that up. So then you would just do the same thing here for these. You would just set the that state for what you're sorting by to be upload date instead.
Okay, awesome. And would that work with the search function still?
Yeah, so what we can do is for the search function, sorry, I clicked out of the wrong thing. Is for this one here, we'll come in here into the search and autocorrect brands matches. I don't know. So this is being set. So the search is being set from the fuzzy search, right?
Yes.
How do I get to that?
That cog wheel in the.
Here. Okay. So the search here for brands, and then the sort can be change which field. And then it'll be app. Brand search sort. And then the descending will be no. So it'll default to no. And then in the repeating, in the conditional here, we'll change it. We'll say, oh, I did the same thing I told you to do and then had you undo. I'm just checking to make sure we're not like doing crazy numbers of workflows or anything. Because sometimes if like, for instance, in our work yesterday, Ben, if our recursive workflows weren't tied up neatly to prevent an infinite loop, it could be eating up your capacity and causing everything to slow down. Doesn't look like that's happened, but it just occurred to me, maybe I should check. Like maybe I should be,
Maybe that
careful.
daisy chain of 100 recursive workflows.
It's crazy. Did it work?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, good. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
More to come.
More to come. So descending. Is yes. Search for brands, and then we'll switch this to be yes.
Will I have to make these conditionals on the other one as well? The
Nope.
upload?
No. So the other one is referring to this one, and now we've changed this and the conditional. So now you're good. These will be the searches here and here are synced up so that
Okay.
depending, like if you're using the fuzzy search, it will still sort the way that it's been already told to sort.
Okay, cool.
So all you have to do is replicate on these two buttons what we did over here, except
Yep.
when you change the state, you would use upload date instead.
Yeah. Like a new state, upload date instead of.
No, same state, just you would change you would copy and paste from your database that field instead.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, easy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jay, back to you.
Okay, I've got this repeating group that is loading too slowly. It's got some
Okay.
filters. Okay. So when the parent groups, when for instance, the platform is platform X, I need to find users who have this role, whose platform contains platform X. And then they also need to have the right expertise, which may be business or technical or both. Okay, and the problem is it's loading too slowly.
Yeah, the problem is the advanced search and the filter.
Yeah, can't figure out a way around it.
Probably with some, like, I'm sure we'll figure something out. So this user, so it's a search for users, and this user's expertise contains the list of admins.
The audience and the expertise are the same things. They're just two different ways of looking at it. There's three of them. Well, there's business, there's technical, or there's both business, technical. And the business, technical is the problem. I mean, it could be either or, but I don't want it to display as both other places. I want it to say business or technical. So I didn't, and it's also an option set over here. So it's this or this, but it can be both.
Okay.
I guess I could make another option set as business, technical.
You could,
Maybe that's what I should do.
but you want it to recognize that if somebody has selected business, so you would have to force them to select either business or technical, and then or both, and not have.
They're already forced to.
Okay. And then they would only have one, so it wouldn't be contains list anymore, and you could put it in the appropriate, like in the original constraint.
Yes.
And that will probably speed up your repeating group a great deal.
Let me try that and see if it helps. And if it's, I have a feeling that there's a reason, I can't remember what it is right now, but I think there's a reason I didn't have it as a third option, and it has to be because it displayed really weird somewhere else, but I can't remember where. So I'll have to dig into that. I'll try that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Calum, you're up.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't think we had time. So it's the one that we were doing with Eli the other day that I saw the problem with. Let me share my screen. As well. Shelly. Go. So on the feed now, I've changed the way I've done pictures and videos because I just got rid of that slider one. There were too many issues with it, and the whole pinging the thing inside the slider just meant that I had to put on everything, and sometimes it still wouldn't update because things would load in the wrong order. So the way I've done it now is, I might have showed you guys this before. No, there we go, that one. So done it like this. So different pictures, I show what they are below at the bottom. If it's one, it doesn't show it. The thing is though, is images and videos. So I've got the video at the back. So these ones here are videos, and then obviously here's pictures of me while I was drunk on Friday. But it's got the video thing here, which I can't press play on because there's an image element in front of it. And the image element is always there because I find a way to hide it. The problem is because I'm using the upload care thing for uploading my images, where it does this one, which is great because it's done by BDK, so it means that you can upload multiple. It doesn't have the file extension in the file name. It's just a random upload care URL. So there's no way of doing like I did before, which was contains.png.jpg to work out whether it's image or video. I know Eli found a way to do it, but what I couldn't find a way to do was I couldn't find a way to store the actual. So when it uploads it to upload care, it knows what the file name is, which contains it. And Eli showed the way that you can save that stuff, but I don't know how to save that in order, because obviously it has to be the same order as the files, because I need to match up when to show the video player element and the image element based on what's in there. And yeah, I can't work out how to do it, which is a pain. Did that make any sense?
Yeah, it did actually. I got you. Yeah, managing list order with an upload is really weird, because like even with Bubble, like if you upload a CSV file, it doesn't upload them in order, right? Like and the same goes with files or whatever. It just like I don't know what the logic is behind which one they would load first. I almost feel like the only way to kind of control that would be if you could somehow work with upload care and a recursive workflow, which would probably slow things way down and completely defeat the purpose of upload care. So the answer is I don't have a good answer for you.
I'm just surprised that obviously in upload care, it should, so if I go to upload, there we go. Actually, one sec. Just for safety, I'm going to stop sharing my screen while I go to upload care.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to stop streaming and delete all my video.
Yeah, no, all good. It's fine. I will share just a sec. So yeah, so this thing, upload care here, these are all the files that are stored in upload care that are being called back to Bubble. Now it stores the JPEG, but the URL it stores looks, all right, well that's a pain because that has .jpeg on it, which it definitely doesn't have. So yeah, it doesn't show that when, if we go back to here and then let's do, so media, there's that, and then let's put a big text element in the middle. Yeah, and then.
Hi, Attaboy, welcome.
Yes, Calum, is it ready?
Put it in white. Then let's just bring in the file URL. Yeah, mine's running slowly now as well. Parent groups, file, URL. Actually, let's see what it returns for both, shall we? File and be file name as well. All right, and then reload this. I'll stop sharing just to make it speed up. Right, there we go. Share my screen again. Cool. Yeah, there we go. So that's the URL, and the problem there is there's no.
It doesn't have the indication of the file.
Yeah, none. And the thing is, you can see here, even though I put in to return the file name, it hasn't returned the file name.
I would complain to the plugin creator.
What, Gaurav again? Yeah.
I'd be like, come on, I need to be able to tell what this is so I can display it properly, right?
Yeah, I don't know whether it is, but yeah, it's just weird. That, I mean, so obviously when I pull this from here though, it's saying parent group's file name, but that is Bubbles indicator. That's not upload care. So whether upload care actually returns the file name or not is a different matter, because it shows it in here, but whether it actually returns it or not is another matter. So I don't know whether that's Gaurav's thing or if he is just returning whatever he can do.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, there's stuff in here. So you can see like crop dash 866 by 868. Sorry, 868. Yeah, which means it's returning some information. And I'm just wondering if there's anything in here, like any of these numbers or anything, which actually relate to like a file extension, but it's, you know, upload care's internal one that I could
Probably
use.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
it almost looks like that's done intentionally, because if you copy and paste those that URL, is it one? Yeah, it's one URL. So if you copy and paste that in, it's not going to show you the file, right?
I can't even copy and paste that tonight. But the weird thing is though, if I go here and copy URL and then put it in.
Yeah, but that's not the same URL, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm confused about.
Well,
Is it
yeah,
not-
because what it is it's somehow hashed or somehow encrypted. And that is what's keeping people
we
from
go.
being able to go and take the files or whatever, or see them from outside of
That's
the
what it is
app.
then. It's the UUID. So I've just put that in there. So that's what it looks like. So I think that there pretty much matches up with that with HTTPS upload care CDN, which is their content delivery network.
Now,
And
are you
then-
storing the files with upload care?
Yeah, I have to.
Gotcha. So can you, I assume they have an API. Maybe you could use the UUID and ping their API to get the file names or something. I don't know. Like, and store it.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Okay, all right. I mean, I've got a work,
You got a
but I
meeting.
will. Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll see if I can use the upload care API to sort of almost query upload care to return the actual file name. But yeah, all right, cool. No worries. I appreciate it. Thank you for your help. I will. I'll have a
No
look.
problem. I wish I could help you more.
No worries. Speak to you in a bit.
All right, bye. Oh, and if you talk to Gaurav, can you tell him he needs to answer my question? I sent a question. I need to see if he's responded. I don't think he has.
What's the question?
Oh, so I just want to make sure. I think it's true. If I'm using push notifications, BDK one signal, can I select different files for the like notification sound based on like what's happening? Like if it's an incoming like live chat or a phone call, I want it to ring as opposed to just da-da-da, you know?
Yes.
And I know you
Totally.
can go up to 30 seconds with a file. I just don't know if you can do two different sounds.
I believe it's the template. I believe that's done by the one signal template. So if we go to where am I using? I'm using it in messaging. So
You can go to your meeting and you can do this in a Loom video for me.
no, that's right. I've got 6 minutes. So where is it? Messaging at the bottom, and then yeah, oh there we go. That one. So it will show what the workflow. Where's the workflow gone? There we go. Push notification. So I think it's this one here, template ID.
Okay.
The template ID is something that you build out in one signal, and you can build out exactly what you want it to look like and how you want it to work, and then you basically to upload the or put in what the template ID is, and you can do it dynamically depending on what kind of notification it is.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I
No
needed
worries.
to know. I'm going to build a mobile app for someone. So
Awesome. Well, if you need any help, you know where I am.
yes, perfect.
I actually got my wrapped package. I got my wrapped app, so I got the I've got it on my phone now finally, which is awesome.
Yay. Now for the hard part, getting it on the App Store.
Yeah, I'm really worried because it has dating in. I'm so worried they'll reject it. But I think I've got enough other stuff in there that I can just say, well, it's a tiny part of the
I
app.
mean, yeah, it is a very tiny part of the app, so hopefully it'll be fine.
If not, I'll just submit like a really simple basic app and then upload mine because they never check it afterwards anyway, do they? Like if you upload just something that they're happy with and then you upload after it's been approved, re-upload
He
it.
tested that. I need to ask him how that went.
Who tested it?
The one who built the app that I was working on a little over a year ago.
The fact.
Yeah, he tested getting it approved and then changing things afterwards, after
I
it's
thought you said it
already
works.
approved. Huh?
I thought you said he'd already done that and it worked.
Oh, maybe that's what I said. Yeah, I mean, he
I
hadn't
hope you
gotten
did, because
caught.
that's what
I
I've
can
been telling
check.
everyone else.
I can check a year later and see if that's still the case, because if they get tipped off, if somebody complains and they go back and review and it has something in that, like that could be problematic.
True. I mean, it's a good job we're not live streaming this or anything. So.
Right.
All right, I'll see you
Uploading
later.
it to YouTube. Bye. Awesome. Ben, you're up again.
I'm good for the moment.
All right. Let's see. Attaboye, how are you?
Hi, Tonya. Yeah, it's been a while.
Good. How can I help you?
Yeah. Quick one. Let me just share my screen. Sorry, I'm out, so there might be a little background noise. Thank you for the other time. I've been able to pass the issues I had.
Okay.
So actually, what I did, you mentioned about what's it called? The plugin I actually picked up from a repeating group to data type.
I'm sorry,
So
I'm
I
having
actually
trouble.
use-
I'm having trouble hearing you, Attaboye, because of the background noise.
Sorry, I tried increasing the volume. I said that you mentioned the last time that I could actually get a plugin to store data in repeating groups.
I still didn't. Did anybody catch it? I can't hear you. Do you want to type it instead?
Okay, nice. You might be.
There we go. Let's just invite him to type it. All right. We'll see if he can type his question instead. I mentioned using a plugin for the repeating group to store in the database. Oh, I think you're talking about auto binding. And it's not a plugin, that's a native feature. Do you want me to show you that feature, Attaboye? I can do that. Let's see here.
Oh, sorry. I think I know. I think no. Tonya, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, no, I muted you on purpose because it was really loud and I couldn't understand what you were saying. So that was me.
Okay.
I muted
Okay.
you, but I think
Can you
what
hear me
you're,
now?
I
No,
can,
I
it's
wasn't
much
asking-
better.
I wasn't asking for the auto binding. I said, what you showed me was the auto binding feature. And you mentioned that there was a plugin where I can actually store data directly from the database from the repeating group into the database. You showed me two projects.
Oh,
One was
how to get
Orchestra, one was
information
something
out of
else.
the
So I'm
repeating
currently
groups?
using
Got
one
it.
of the
Okay.
plugins to
Yeah.
actually.
All right. I'm going to mute you again because it's really
So I'm
loud,
currently-
Attaboye, but I understand your question now. So it's, did I? Okay, so you're asking for the plugins that I recommended last week, and the one is Orchestra. Oh, bubble. Okay. So one is this one, it's called Orchestra, and it's a repeating group add-on. And what it does is, it says it right here, there's an information barrier between repeating groups and the rest of your app. So if you were trying, like if you load information from your database into a repeating group, and then in each cell you have an input, and the person has to input something in that cell, and then you want to save what they input into that input into the database, you can't access it with like a save button, right? You could access it with a save button that's in the cell itself probably, but you couldn't say enter all of the information in different inputs in the repeating group and then click one button and save all of them to the various things in the repeating group. But you can with Orchestra, and you also can with, I hate it when Bubble does that. Why do they do that? Does anybody know? Like, I have no idea why if you drag outside of the pop-up, it like closes it. It drives me crazy. The other one, Adeboye, is BDK repeating group tools. I actually think the BDK repeating group tools is easier to use when I tried it. This one here. So repeating group tools by BDK. I had greater success doing what I needed to do with repeating group tools than I did with Orchestra, although my understanding is Orchestra is much more powerful. So you can play around with those, and maybe we can start, because I think we're about to end the opportunity to just start, like we have to start tracking the requests for video tutorials and maybe make like an upvoting system. So maybe we can put in that list, like, show me how to use repeating group tools by BDK, or show me how to use Orchestra, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, we're working on it. Get there. And then we can do more of those things like we did over the weekend, Jay, the active campaign.
Great.
Did that answer your question, Adeboye? You can unmute if you want. Or I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know if he said something else. Okay. Let's see. Adeboye, I'm just going to ask you again. Do you have any other questions? All right. Let's see here. Jay, do you have any questions?
Not particularly. I made the change we talked about to get that to load faster. It's loading faster, but it's still taking almost 2 seconds, and the database only has like 15 users in it, test users. So I'm concerned about that.
All right, show me again. We might have to use like, this time I want to see like the database structure, like how much is being returned on the users.
So there's the active campaign stuff. And after that, it's these things. So this is the last
too
one.
bad. So
I don't think
just
it's too
to,
bad.
yeah, so just do a search, like just on a test page real quick. Just do a repeating group of users and search for all users. Oh, but I want it to be the only thing that's on the page because I want to see what happens.
What's that?
I want it to be the only thing on the page. Okay.
That was fast,
That was
fast as
fast.
it needed to be.
Okay, and then so go it back into the repeating group on the page itself.
On the one I'm having a problem
The
with.
one you're having problems with, yeah. And then just give me 1 second. I want to.
So the search for users is just plain.
Hang on, just 1 second. We've kind of, I need to check something really fast. Here. Okay, I think we're okay. Okay, so what I want to check for is like what is going on in this repeating group. Like it seems like you might be doing a search in your repeating group cell. Is that true?
Where?
Like I'm asking if like is there anything in this repeating group per cell where you're doing a search?
No, this is just the parent group's users information.
Just the parent group's users information. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no filters on any of that either.
No, it's all perfectly straightforward.
Okay, and then go back to the repeating group search. And the
So the
repeating
top
group,
search is just general. And then down here, it's that. I don't know if I have to repeat this or not. I don't think it makes a difference.
company. And then, and this search, like the repeating group, when you click it, it's show me the slowdown again. It's like after the page load and then you like load it and then it's slow, or is it on page load that it's slow?
I don't know, because you don't get there on page load, so you have to go through this process to get there. Watch, it'll be super quick. Here we are. So
Yeah, that's not super. I mean, how many do you expect to be in that list? Like, was that the slowness that you were talking about, or was it even slower?
that is pretty much the slowness. That was about 2 seconds. But there's only like what, 15 test users in the whole database, and you know,
So I would use like, I would use Macaroo or something and just like put 100 in there real quick and then test it again
okay.
and see what's happening. The other thing you can do is you can make, so there were a few different filters, right? Like there's a few things that you're searching for. So you could make what's called or what Juan calls a satellite data type, right? And essentially you can, it's almost like a user profile that just has the connection to the user, and then it has the different things that you're filtering by, and that's it, right? And so you search for that, and then you show the user's information based on that.
Right, so this one would just have like the SME people in it.
Right, because if it's any, like, I don't know if there are any text heavy fields in those, in your
No.
user,
No,
but you do have a few, like, I mean, there's definitely a dozen or like 24 fields on it, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, so it's just like, remember that every time you query the database for a data type, all of the things that it's going to return from the original constraints on the list return with everything, right? So Bubble doesn't constrain like which fields come back to the client, the browser. It only filters out which records to return. So if you're trying to get like a super fast search, then one of the things to do is only have a satellite data type that just refers to the main thing. And in that satellite data type, only have the fields that you're going to be searching with, like constraining the search by, and that'll make things much faster.
Okay, thank you. I'll try Mockaroo first, and if that is satisfactory, then I'll try the satellite data type. It makes sense.
Yeah, awesome. So we are going to move into our after hours section of office hours. What that is our members are very gracious. They come on and we get to broadcast all of their questions in the first hour of office hours. And that's for the benefit of all of the people who are either watching live or watching the replay. But at some point after about an hour, we cut that off and we just go off of recording and off of the broadcast, and we just have time together and we don't have to worry about the broadcast aspect of it. But that's members only. You can only hear what goes on behind closed doors if you are a member. So please go sign up at pronocoders.com today and sign up while it's still $99 per month, because the price is going up, because you get a ton of value. You get 6 sessions per week, right? That's like 25 per month that you can come and ask all of your Bubble questions. So for $99 a month, that's a steal. Please go sign up today. Thank you everybody for watching. We will be back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. for another episode of Office Hours.